Do you think learning the fretboard is important? Well, in my humble but accurate opinion, I think it's one of the most important areas to focus on if you want to improve your playing. Why? Well, every single time you pick up your guitar, you're going to use that knowledge to play anything. Now, if you've tried to understand the ins and outs of the fretboard, then you may have realized it can be a bit of a jungle out there. I mean, there's lions, saber-toothed tigers, and all kinds of crazy things wanting to trip you up and waste your time. So in this video, I want to share with you 10 quick tips to help you learn the fretboard faster, starting with number 1, which is you want to understand that the fretboard is a circular system. So what this means is things are going to repeat. There are patterns all over the neck where you can shift, chords and scales and licks around. And as you get to a certain point, they start repeating again and it loops back around. And so this is a huge trick for understanding the fretboard. Number 2 is you want to see chords, scales, and arpeggios all as the same thing. So for example, if I take this chord here, which is a C chord, I know that there's the arpeggio here, which is the notes that make up the chord tones, and then I have the scale, whether that's pentatonic, maybe that's the major scale. But either way, whatever sound I'm going for, I know it's all connected, and I have a chord to go with the scale, to go with the arpeggio, and that's how you can work out the neck. Number 3 is playing the scale up and down is fine, but it can get boring. So if you have that C chord and you're just playing the pentatonic, this is going to show you the notes, sure, but you generally don't want to play the whole scale in a solo. You just want to take parts of it. And have efficient ways of practicing the scale so you don't get bored just going up and down. Number 4 is after you learn the scales, you have to have some language and some good licks that are going to show you how those scale sounds work in context. So for example, if I'm in the key of C again, I could play that scale, or I could play something from the language. Like, let's say I have a blues sound, I go. That immediately sounds more bluesy than here's the lick, or that sounds a lot more like music to me. Number 5 is a great tip, and this is where you make the chord connection, which is something I talk a lot about in my programs. And the idea is that you take a chord, like let's say I have, I'll take this chord for example, C, and I want to be able to play from the lowest note in that chord to the highest note in that chord with the scale. So that's going to sound like this. So wherever I am on the neck, whatever chord I'm playing, I know where the scales are right off that chord. Number 6 is realizing that bar chords can unlock the entire fretboard. So if you take a chord like this, there are so many ways that you can break up that chord into smaller triads, maybe the middle notes here, maybe I want to spread the notes out like a spread chord like that. And this is going to help you understand smaller chunks. So maybe things like dyads, like Jimi Hendrix would go, right? But that's still all coming out of the parent chord. Number 7 is pretty simple, but it's just apply the knowledge that you're learning. So if you're learning a scale, maybe try improvising with that scale over a backing track, or play some chords into a looper pedal and take your fretboard knowledge and put it into action. All right, number 8 is leverage visualization to learn the fretboard faster. And this is the concept of, being able to understand how certain grips move around. Like if I take this chord and then, I can have a similar shape somewhere else on the neck, just like the way bar chords move around like this. You have these grips that basically will unlock the fretboard. And so don't just necessarily think about everything as just being in one position. You know, you can move anything you play on guitar. And when you think about it in grips like that, it can make things be easier versus trying to memorize everything. Number 9 is work out one position at a time. So a lot of times players will, you know, let's say they're trying to learn the pentatonic scale and they're trying to memorize all the different patterns. Well, what you want to do is just start in one area, you know, like maybe the 5th fret here, A minor pentatonic, you know, and then start improvising in that area there and really work it until you feel comfortable, you know, doing these things that I'm saying, working with backing tracks, applying the knowledge, and then move on to the next one and expand out from there. Number 10 is the most important one out of all of them, and that is simply have a plan. You see, if you're just trying to cobble all these different concepts together without a step-by-step way of working through it, then it's gonna be tough as nails. And if you've struggled with this, then go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and get your hands on my free fretboard guide PDF. This is a just one-page PDF that's going to be the most powerful sheet you ever see for understanding the fretboard. I've been teaching it for almost 3 decades now, and it's held up like a charm. Go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide and you can grab that now as my gift to you. Hope these tips helped you out, and if you enjoyed this video, you might like this one next.